Now I'm
Lamau.
recording. Now we're recording.
Lamau.
Okay.
Lamau.
Um. All right. So this starts on a Saturday night, Saturday evening.
Boy
Uh,
got zoinked on a Saturday.
Jared, me, his little brother, and his little brother's friend. We all go to like Buffalo Wild Wings. We chill out there, get some drinks. We're watching, UFC fights and whatever. Cool, man. Cool night, right? Um, Night goes at about till I want to say about 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in that place till like 2 a.m. And then we drive back to Jared's house. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Jared lives with his dad and little brother, basically. Um, Not that that's any more important, but just add context to it all. So
Yeah.
I go over there at that house to pretty much spend the night. Um, and
Ooh, with Jared.
and we go there, and I pretty much kind of stay up for a bit. I go and play some Black Ops 2 in the living room with Ian, and then Ian decides to go upstairs, do his own thing, and Jared's up in his room. So it's just me down there with my laptop. Um, I'm probably playing Zomboid or some shit. Actually, I was playing Zomboid with him.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
and then, like, as the night went on, about like maybe 3:45 a.m. Um, I go upstairs, and it kind of dawns on me the thought, like, you know they've been saying, like, hey, we should do shrooms sometimes, we should do shrooms sometime, and every time I proposed it, there's always been some monkey wrench in the way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like never been able to work out. It just never works out. So I end up just approaching Jared, and I go, hey man, let's do shrooms, like, just flat out. It's like about to be 4 a.m.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's I know that it's best to see like a sunrise while you're on shrooms,
Mm-hmm.
or a sunset. So I'm like, let's do this. Let's
I'm
do
taking.
this.
I'm taking. You haven't had like slept for a while either,
What?
since it was really really early in the morning, or I guess late in the night
So I'll get
that you
to
hadn't
that. I'll get
showered.
to that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took him some convincing, but he did in fact have the shrooms. These shrooms that he had in the Ziploc
In
were
Minecraft. In
called
Minecraft. Yeah.
uh penis envy.
Of course.
Because if they have the kookier the name, the stronger they are.
Mm-hmm.
These shrooms were not. I say again, were not for people starting out. In fact, Jared's dad Ben, who was huge on drugs, shrooms,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the fuck, he's been doing forever. He had like like he had recommended alone something called like Golden Teacher, which is like a great starting shroom, right? But obviously, me going up to Jared proposing that we should do shrooms tonight, or this morning, he only had in his inventory a Ziploc of penis envy shrooms, and another bag of unidentified shrooms.
Of course.
These
Of
shrooms
course.
were given to him from his dad, and his dad
Yeah.
never, I guess, caught the name of them. So these shrooms were in their own thing. There weren't as many of those in there, but they were like the bite-sized ones that you would take while you're on a trip or something. Kind of when you're walking around, admiring the scenery. Um, so basically, we took that first bag upstairs into the attic, right? There we did it in the attic. Wink, wink. Um,
Of
and there
course.
was two front windows. There's two front windows on the attic that show like the outside front lawn and everything. It's a nice view, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a sleeping bag at the window. Jared's whole epicenter, his own little trip zone, was all taking place on that sleeping bag, and I'll elaborate more on that later. Um,
Yeah.
and my trip zone was pretty much against the window. I was sitting at a wall, pretty much looking out the window. Um, and essentially, we went up there. We grab my phone, whatever the fuck. We go up there with the shrooms. We grab a beaker of cranberry juice to chase down the taste of the shrooms. And we grab like a grab like a mug of water just for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
So we go up to this attic, and it's a nice attic, very very cozy, very warm. We're up there. I put my phone down. I go on Spotify. I go and pop some pop. I put some holy shit, I put some Pink Floyd on.
Mm-hmm.
I put Pink Floyd on the phone, and Jared's getting the shrooms ready. And he asks me right before we do this, he says, "Are you okay mentally to do this? Because we
Mm-hmm.
don't know, because this is stronger stuff. This isn't what you should be taking." And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. I'm ready to do this. Let's get it done." He's like, "All right." And so I take like a whole entire mushroom and a stem and then a cap and then some bits and pieces. This was like for me, and then he took like the other half of the bag, which was just about the same potency. Um, so I take mine, he takes his. I chase it down with cranberry juice. He chases it down with cranberry juice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, give or take about 30 minutes in, it kicks in for him. It
Mm-hmm.
kicks in for him,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't kick in for me. And
Yep.
he had assumed that it was because me being a bigger guy, it would take longer for it to process through my system,
Mm-hmm.
which was understandable. I said, okay. But then my hubris, my impatience started to get to me, and I go, man, these edibles ain't shit. And so I went downstairs, took
Oh,
the
you
Ziploc
stupid
bag,
fuck!
took the
You
Ziploc bag,
stupid fuck!
took the
You
Ziploc
just
bag of the
don't don't
unidentified shrooms,
don't tell me you
went
fucking took
upstairs,
more.
went
Oh my
upstairs,
god,
looked at him, he looked at me, and he shrugs. He's like, well, it's your choice.
that's the stupid.
And I pour the shrooms, whatever the fuck, the unidentified shrooms into my hand. I look at him and I'm like, oh, I gulp, I fucking chew that shit like a
Oh
beast,
my
dude.
god, you're a fucking idiot.
So I did that, and basically, nothing happened. I was at the window. He was already tripping out of his mind. So I have to play in perspective, right? We had Pink
Mm-hmm.
Floyd music playing for the first like 30 minutes. By the way, to
Yep.
put a timeline here, we took their shrooms at like about 4:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So about 30 minutes in, okay. Um, it's 5 a.m. now, right? He's tripped out of his fucking mind, dude. He's already like seeing shit. So
Mm-hmm.
he's already like in his own reality almost, but it gets worse for him. Not worse, but rather it gets more crazy. Me here, I'm looking out the window and I'm a little bitter, but at the same time I'm also downplaying it because if I downplay it, it makes getting that trip much more impactful. Instead of like hyping it up and waiting, I just sit there and go, "Man, these ain't shit, man. I'm not going to get a good trip." So I'm doing that to psych myself up to get ready for this thing. I'm mentally psyching myself up for this. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the window and there's like a faint blue dew of like the sky, when the morning comes and you get that faint blue sky. It's just there, morning's coming, but it's not going to come anytime soon. So that's showing up and everything seems normal to me. And come about maybe I want to say 5:25 5 a.m. No, 5:25 a.m. uh I get the first sign, which
Mm-hmm.
was me just kind of looking out the window still.
Mm-hmm.
And by this point, I had changed the music from Pink Floyd to Minecraft music.
Ah, beautiful.
So I had that playing,
Yeah.
and just my right lip made a muscle quirked, like the muscles on my right lip like quirked up by force. I had no choice. Like
Mm-hmm.
my muscles were deciding their own fate.
Ooh, they
So
quirk
I
up.
so like the corner of my right lip was literally shooting up. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
smiling and I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Cuz like I've
Mm-hmm.
never had that happen before. So I'm like, "Okay, this is
Yeah, I don't
happening. This is
smile.
happening." I'm like, "This is happening. This is happening."
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuz even prior to that what Jared had told me was that you'll start to feel like a strange feeling in your stomach, like a bloated feeling but not bloated. Like something's cooking up in there, like boiling. Um, and that's what I felt prior to getting that like lip reaction. But it was very faint, so I kind of I kind of just like discounted it away. But once I got that quirk lip, dude, I looked back at Jared, who was already in his like own realm, but he looks at me and I look at him, and he's like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's starting." It's starting, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I don't know what to expect now. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is really working. So then, by about by 6 a.m., you know, this is where things start to get really creepy,
Mhm.
really, really strange. Because when you take shrooms, you're essentially committing yourself to food poisoning.
Yeah.
Um, but on top of that, furthermore, you start to really lose sense of reality. You start to lose
Mhm.
grasp of it, which I never felt before until this night. So
Yeah.
come about 6 a.m., 6:20, my mind starts to lose sense of time and space. So I first of all, I do not touch my phone because it would only ruin the experience.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting here and I feel like time hasn't passed by at all.
Yeah.
Even though like I lose perception of time and space as the day goes up, as like the sun comes up, it's like it feels like time isn't moving at all. It's like I'm in an illusion. And there are just small things that don't seem right in the outside world that I'm able to see out the window. For instance, as the morning went by and as Jared was
Mhm.
pretty much in his own fucking reality, this dude is like waving his arms to like the fucking volume of the music, to the flow of the music. It's insane. And
Yeah.
by about 6:30 a.m., along with me slowly losing my grasp of reality, I start to change the music from Minecraft to vaporwave. And this changed a lot more than I anticipated. This shit was insane, dude. Like it was playing classic vaporwave from
Mhm.
back when I was in middle school. So hearing it in a different way like this was insane to me. And Jared was like fucking out of it, dude. This dude was out of it. So I left him alone. Like this dude is in like a cocoon in his blanket and his leg is like twitching and his fucking like left hand is like making contorted figures out of the music. It was fucking crazy watching this dude go. And I was almost afraid this dude was having a seizure at some point, but he was fine.
Yeah.
I trusted him, so I'm like, I think he's cool. I think he's good. But me though, I'm like at this window and I'm like seeing abnormal people walking down a
Yeah.
sidewalk. I'm seeing trees shrink out of a distance and then come up close, but not too close, but
Mhm.
abnormally close. Then I
Yeah.
see high contrast, bright red cardinal birds flying. I see waves of um, blackbirds going across the sky, and just of my peripheral, they completely disappear. And then when I look
Yeah.
back, they almost look like bugs flying.
Yeah.
I'm seeing fucking these two houses, dude. These two fucking houses. These two houses, right? One had a red roof, one had a black roof. One had a white panel, the other had a gray panel. The windows were black, these windows were white. So, in my fucked up shroom headed brain, I'm over here comprehending two houses that are complete opposites when they really aren't. So, it goes down to seeing these houses not only shift slowly in detail, but rather they come in close and then they come in far, and um, I even like it almost seemed like it almost seemed like I was in a game, and it was like God had like turned the graphics from like high to low to medium to low to high to low to ultra to low. It was fucking crazy, dude, because every time
Mhm.
I looked away from the window for even just a split second and looked back, there was something new I had found. There was something new that was off. There was something that I had found that was off before that wasn't there anymore, and then there was something else that I found that was off.
My guy just pierced the veil behind the reality.
It was like I was in the fucking Matrix. It was insane. And then it's like
Yeah.
on top of this, that's not even including like not only my loss, my like losing grasp of time and space, but also just literally feeling paranoid, feeling panicked because it got down to a point where I'm looking around the room and I'm looking out the window and there's something new. There's something weird. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because what I know that people fail to do mostly when it comes to shrooms, at least when they're starting, is that they fail to mention themselves subconsciously that they did shrooms, they took shrooms, and this is all just from shrooms. None of this is
Mhm.
real. But at the same time, it's almost so hard to grasp what is real in the first place. And I'll tell you why this was so scary to me, because apparently, okay, so we had a dude over named Marcus, black dude, whatever,
Mhm.
has dreads. He was chilling on the couch downstairs in the living room.
Mhm.
One of the few people I saw out there that didn't seem right was a black dude dressed in all white in dreads, and I knew it wasn't Marcus from downstairs. It was another dude that had come over. He was black, had dreads too, but I thought it was that guy. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he left. And I'm like, cool. The trip goes by, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I'll get back to that point later because it's gonna add into what happens after I do this trip, after like the attic and everything, and I go downstairs. Um, Jared ends up waking up at about 7:30, and I'm sitting
Mhm.
here at the window, and I haven't even told you all the tendencies, all like the physical things I did to myself during this trip. I was literally digging into my skin.
Oh,
Digging
that's
into
not
my
good.
skin. Well, I was digging into my skin and I was like fucking I was digging into my skin, leaning my head on the window like it was stuck there, and I'm like just stuck in a trance almost. It was
Mhm.
crazy. I could not stop scratching myself. I could not stop like digging into my skin. I could not stop rubbing certain parts of my body. Not inappropriately. It was rather just like legs and it was like legs and shit. It was like legs and like my calves and my feet, especially my feet, because what I ended up doing a lot was not only kind of digging into my skin with my nails, but also biting my thumb really hard, but
Yeah.
not to where it bled. But I did that. I also God, what the fuck else did I do? I flexed my toes a lot. I flexed my fists a lot, so I like clenched them super fucking hard. And another thing that was really strange, which I kind of found out later, because shrooms let out all of your emotions over time, depending
Mhm.
on what they do and what they are. I started to cry. I just started crying, but it wasn't like crying over anything. It was just like tears were leaving me. And the more you like shut your eyes and open them, the more harder they come. So it was
Mhm.
like all of like the base bodily functions, aside from shitting and pissing, thank God, were pretty much coming out. Except for like drooling and shit. I didn't drool.
Yeah.
But like fuck, dude. Like this shit was crazy. I'd never experienced anything like this. So of course, being in this kind of setting, I'm fucking panicking, kind of. And then on top of that, what doesn't even help is that when we first got into the attic, the lighting in there was like an orange hue.
Yeah.
When I look back at about like 6:45 a.m. in the midst of like this crazy fucking trip I'm going through, the lighting is like red. And then all right, so I'm going to go into Berserk for a second because this heavily influenced what I was seeing on the walls. You know the realm that like Guts and the Band of the Hawk end up finding themselves into when Griffith uses the Bayolet, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know those like red skulls all over the plane from like top to bottom that are like all
Uh-huh.
over? All right.
Yeah.
So I can't really describe correctly, but basically the walls inside this attic, the ceiling in this attic, had like a sort of um, had sort of like a half circle crease of like caulk and white material on it. Usually like the standard wall you see in many houses. I just can't remember the
Yeah.
material off the top of my head, but these were all like symmetrically aligned correctly, enough for me to almost hallucinate skulls in the midst of that red hue that I was hallucinating from by like 6:45 a.m. So it almost took me back to like that shit from Berserk, and I'm like, fuck, fuck. And I just look out the window because I'm almost too afraid to see what's like. I'm almost too afraid to look into this room. Even though Jared's completely in his own realm and I know he's there, that
Yeah.
motherfucker ain't there. He's in his own reality right now.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's just me. Another thing I want to note during the trip was that Jared and I, while we were deep in our trip, we were often what is called like floating, and we would just
Uh-huh.
like look back at each other instinctively and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, hey," like we were just, and then we would like go back to our trip. That was literally our only kind of communication for most of the trip. another crazy thing that I fucking cannot believe was like actually happening to me. And this is going to be hard to explain, so grasp with me here. When I had gotten on my phone finally at about maybe 7 a.m., Jared was asleep, so he wakes up at about 7:30, I think. About 7 a.m., I'm on my phone on Instagram. First of all,
Yeah.
all the colors are contrast as fuck. They're rich as fucking color,
Hmm.
and all the apps are like much more smaller, but high detailed. Um, I go on Instagram and I go on YouTube, and I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know how this happened. And it may have just been the shrooms fucking with me, but I don't think it was. I was basically seeing on my feed from YouTube and Instagram,
Hmm.
um, the feed, like all the videos, all the posts or whatever, all had some vague correlation to what my body was feeling and what my emotions were.
Hmm.
So and I had posts and reels going from like ranges of emotions that I was feeling in that moment. And the moment I scroll down on Instagram is another emotion that I'm feeling literally and that the phone was reciprocating back.
Hmm.
So it was like my phone was like a fucking Neuralink from Cyberpunk or some shit. It was super fucking weird. Like I didn't even want to acknowledge it. I had to acknowledge it later because it was just too insane for me to think about at that moment. So I put the phone down. And I'm like, fuck this shit. So here I am back to the window, digging into my skin, biting my thumb, flexing my fists, fucking, crazy shit. Um, and I take a picture of the two houses. I'm already taking a picture of people's houses. So that's great. Um,
Just in an attic taking pictures of people's houses. Nothing weird there.
yep, nothing weird at all.
Nothing strange. Nothing strange.
Nothing strange at all. And um, Jared's woken up from his like crazy trip trance
Yeah. His
and
coma.
his fucking borderline coma, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
Vaporwave is still serenading our ears, and it
Hmm.
stays that way pretty much the entire time. He comes up to the other side of the window, sitting against the wall across from me, and we're
Hmm.
both just kind of like vibing it out. His trip is kind of going down at this point. He experienced the peak during his thing. So right now he's just kind of like doing a slow descent, but me, I'm peaked up like a motherfucker, dude. So I'm over here digging in my skin. He's seeing all that shit, and he's just kicking the shit with me, pretty much. Like he's
Yeah.
chill, and I'm not as panicked anymore. And um, give or take at about like maybe 8 a.m. Um, he trying to think here. We started talking about like the most mundane shit, the most mundane and stupid shit. Like I have recordings of us talking, and it's just nonsense. It's
It's
just
absolute nothing.
nonsense. Like none of it adds up to anything that would happen next,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's like Jared has to keep reminding me, like, dude, when you look back at these recordings, they're not gonna make any fucking sense. I don't know why he's like, why are you even recording? Like, none of this has any substance to it whatsoever. We're literally just rambling about stupid shit. Um, and looking back at these recordings, like, yeah, holy shit. Aside from like me literally showing you my dilated fucking eyes, other than that, like you would not be able to tell that we were completely fucked up on shrooms.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say, um, after a while we were chilling up there, he starts talking to me about the two houses that I'm mentioning, and he's like seeing me go completely insane over these two houses. Like these two houses are like my fucking like obsession during this whole trip. It was like the big primary thing. Um, I just would not shut up about these two houses. It was making me insane. Um, and so he's like, dude, chill out. You're taking pictures of these two houses and you're recording them. Like, you're fucking recording these two houses.
Stop it! Stop it!
And I'm like, I can't stop it. Like, what is up with these two houses, man? Look at the fucking houses. Look at them. What is wrong with them? Look. I'm
The
like,
numbers. What do they
I'm
mean?
literally trying to justify these two houses that have had nothing to do with me and don't deserve my fucking like spite whatsoever. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these houses?
Yeah.
What is happening? And um so he's sitting there, I'm sitting there, we're kicking the shit. My trip is still going hard. I
Mhm.
finally decide to go downstairs to use the bathroom, dude. And as I go down these stairs and I open the door into Jared's room, the attic.
Yeah.
So by the way, the attic can only be gone up through Jared's room. So I had to go through Jared's room, right? And Jared, first and foremost, lives like a pig. He has a pigsty for a room. There's clothes on the floor. It's fucking messy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cluttered, right? Usually cluttered. I go into his room, bro, and I swear to God, everything is like 2 feet away from me. Everything is like sparse and spread out. It was super fucking weird. Like this was the biggest evidence to how being on shrooms makes you realize things are completely off. Because this room, as cluttered as I remember it being before taking the shrooms, now it seemed like Dovahkiin just went in and said "Fusro Da" to the fucking room
Yeah.
and everything was like spread out. It was super fucking crazy. So I'm like, okay, this is the shrooms doing it. So I
All
leave.
right.
So I leave the room into this like, sort of like semi-circle of like a bunch of other doors. The house was made in like the fucking 20s, 1920s. So this house had weird architecture. Um, and I go into like I leave Jared's room into like this main area, and I swear to God, dude, I felt like Austin Powers going through the groovy rooms. Like the walls were kind of moving, the floor was moving, but yet
Yeah.
everything wasn't. So it was like it's just one of those things you just feel, but you cannot like explain. You can't
Yeah.
even like give evidence of it because it's just you. So I
It's
go to the
just you.
so I go
Yeah.
to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, bro. I go on the toilet because I thought I had to take a shit and I never took a shit. It's actually just the shrooms fucking with me. And as I'm sitting there, I hear my name being called from outside and I don't acknowledge it whatsoever. And I hear a dog barking and I hear almost what I think are things that you would not be able to hear if you weren't on shrooms because shrooms heighten your fucking senses and shit.
Hmm.
Um, So I'm hearing my name, I'm hearing the dog bark, and I'm hearing like the slightest creak of the floorboards of the house. I'm hearing the most minute fucking buzz of a fly across the bathroom. I'm hearing just the most minute shit, and it's crazy. And I get up, wash my hands, look myself in the eye in the mirror. My pupils are dilated as fuck, like a cat is ready to prowl on its prey. It was fucking crazy. I leave that room. Uh, I I go back up to the attic,
Hmm.
um, and we kind of like tidy things up, kind of get ready to go downstairs to the living room
Yeah.
because everybody's starting to wake up now. I go downstairs and everybody's kind of like people kind of seep into the living room one at a time. Nobody knows, by the way. Actually,
That
I have
that
to
you are.
yeah, I actually have to rewind this a bit for a second. So I leave the bathroom and I go to Ian's room. Ian's like in his bed, but asleep. But as soon as I open this door, a normal person would walk in and show their full body and go, "Hi, good morning." Me, I open the door slowly, peek my fucking head out from the doorway, looking at him as he wakes up and he just sees my fucking head, and I go, "Hi." And he was scared, first of all. Like he
Yeah.
literally did not expect to wake up seeing some dude's head come out the doorway. So I scared him on that. Jared comes downstairs. Jared explains what he can explain and remember from the trip to Ian, And Ian's like, okay, guys, let's see if you're let's see if you guys are on the trip. And he checks Jared's eyes. He's like, okay, you're kind of falling down. And he checks mine. He's like, dude, you are fucking peaked right now.
Mhm.
So I'm like, fuck, because it's daytime. I didn't get to see a sunrise, and now I'm hearing shit. I'm feeling things. I'm seeing things I shouldn't. And so
Yeah.
I Ian wakes up. I go downstairs. Marcus is downstairs on the chair still, but he's awake. Um, I go downstairs on the couch, and Jared's on the couch. Jared gets me like a glass of water, and I drink it.
Mhm.
And apparently, what Marcus had said happened. And I still do not recall this ever happening, but Marcus swears up and fucking down that I did this.
Mhm.
That during that trip of me being in the attic, where I only remember one instance of me going to that bathroom that morning and going relatively soon downstairs, somewhere in that trip, I left that attic, went to the top of the stairs, and stared at Marcus for like a solid minute until he like realized I was doing that. He's like, "What the fuck?" So I don't remember ever leaving the attic for doing that. So I was kind of scared of the fact that I had this bipolar motherfucking personality, like I'm Tyler fucking Durden, where I don't remember doing crazy things like that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, like what else did I do? Like if I was doing that, what the hell else could I have done? Thankfully, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I didn't do anything else but that. Thank God. Um, but that shit was insane to me. That was terrifying because, like, the fact that shrooms could make you perceive you being in one place while you're actually somewhere else is insane to me. And that's exactly what happened there.
Mhm.
And then I went back up to the attic, and the trip went as it went. So I'm downstairs with Jared, Ian, Marcus, and then Ben's a girl he's dating. Her name's Heather. She goes downstairs, and Ian spills the beans like, "Hey, Jared and Ryan are on shrooms right now."
Yeah.
And Heather's being a bitch. She's trying to like pull a bad trip on me. She's like trying to fuck with my head and shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck this. Like this sucks. Um, Things start to kind of like die down for Jared, but for me, they're almost just beginning. And I'm like sitting here, not digging into my skin so much anymore, but rather panic. My eyes panic to like the slightest detail of the house, to the most minute thing. And it almost gets really tense in the living room with me because all these people, they know Jared's cool, but me, they just see me kind of sitting here brooding in
Yeah.
this trip, and I'm like, I'm in like anguish. They can see it. I'm in a mental fucking holocaust right now. Um, and so they're like, I kind of look at the 360, and then I
Yeah.
look at Ian, and I go, Ian, let's play some Black Ops 2. He's like, yeah, let's play some Black Ops 2. They want to do anything else but sit in an empty living room with me on shrooms. Uh, so we get the Xbox 360 up, we get Black Ops
Yeah.
2 started, and I'm
Eh.
playing with Ian on some fucking like map. We're playing against bots. Um,
Mhm.
and I shit you not, bro. The bottom half of the screen for me playing split screen, which was for me,
Mhm.
I was the bottom half, but the bottom half of my bottom half was
Mhm.
completely fucking blurred. I could not play Black Ops 2. and and everything is like rendering at a slower pace than usual.
Mhm.
The models are almost polygonal. The decals are about maybe 144p
Yeah.
minus such. Everything looks like sludge. And I try my best. I try my like shroom brained best to fucking play a normal match of Black Ops 2, and I couldn't even finish it because I literally could not comprehend half of what was going on.
Mhm.
It was fucking crazy. And so I told Ian, I'm like, Ian, I'm sorry, I can't play. I can't play. He's like, all right, cool, cool, cool. And then Heather's like, I'll play. And then they both play Black Ops 2, and then they play zombies. And I'm over here grabbing a cup of water after the next, because I'm just hydrating myself. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get myself out of this thing. Because at this point, I feel like I'm trapped. I feel like I'm never getting out of this trip. Like I actually feel like I'm mentally trapped in this like hellhole.
Mhm.
And so I'm kind of like panicking, but I'm keeping my cool. I'm keeping my cool. And every fucking 4 minutes, like I have Jared get me like a drink of water. I'm like, Jared,
Mhm.
can I get a drink of water? 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 Like I'm like downing this water, motherfucker. I'm like trying to like wake up. Um,
Yeah.
and at some point it gets tense in the morning again because I'm just standing there with my cup of water watching Heather and Ian play Black Ops Zombies. And I'm
Mhm.
just standing there watching. I'm just standing there
Yeah.
watching.
He's just standing there
I'm just
menacingly.
I'm just standing there watching, and I can feel the tense. I can feel the tense air in the room because of me. Because they know that I'm going through a bad trip, but they can't really do anything for me. I'm just kind of I have to go through it.
Mhm.
And so they're like I just kind of notice it all and I go, "Okay, you guys don't have to keep playing Black Ops 2 to make everything seem normal, okay? I'm sorry if I'm like making y'all uncomfortable, but you guys don't have
Mhm.
to keep up this charade. You guys don't have to play Black Ops 2."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no, it's good. Like we swear." And I'm like, "Okay." Sure. And then Ben, the OG, he wakes up, goes downstairs. Uh not Ian, Jared clued him in what's going
Mhm.
on. And then Ben's like he just love Ben, man. He's almost like a father to me. I love him so much. And he
Mhm.
just like gives me a good pound in the back and he goes, "Took too much last night?" He's like, "You feeling all right?" He's like, "How's the trip?" He's like, "Everything you thought?" And I'm like, "A little too much, but I think I can handle it." And at this point, I'm brooding around the house with a cup of water, trying to fight away everything. And at some point around 12 p.m., I went to sleep. And then I woke
Yeah.
up and my trip was gone.
Nice.
So that's the trip, man. That's what happened.
Yeah. Cool.
Um
Cool beans. All in Minecraft, by the way. No illicit substances were taken, FBI agent.
yeah, of course. Well, yeah, shrooms aren't really illegal, but okay.
Of course, they aren't in Minecraft. You only ate a suspicious stew, and that's what happened. Yes, of course, in Minecraft. Yes.
um Here, I'll at least send you a picture of the I'll send you a picture of the attic and the two houses
Yeah, that sounds good.
so you at least can see like get an idea of what I was looking at and where I was.
Yeah.
Give it a moment, they're uploading.
Uh,
Man, oh man. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
yeah.